सर्वेभ्यः पूर्वकनमस्काराः। शिवानन्दलहर्याः कक्ष्यायां सर्वेषां स्वागतम्. Today we are in the 49th session. We have completed till verse 74 in the previous class, so we will proceed from 75 onwards. Thank you all for sharing your thoughts, notes, articles, etc. I will briefly speak to you about it at the end of today's session. So let us begin with Guru Vandanam. We have two panelists for now, Shriya and Charu, who will be helping us with the Anucharanam today. Let us begin with Guru Vandanam. Gururev gatir gurumev bhaji Gurunaiv sahasmi namo gurave Na guroh paramam shishurasmi guroh Matirasti gurau mama pahi guru Shruti smriti purananamayam karunalayam Namami bhagavat pada shankaram loka shankaram Saundaryalahari kartre sarvamangaladayine Shankaracharya varyaya yatirajayate namaha Shankarupena machittam pankikritamabhudyaya Kinkariyasya samaya Shankaracharyamashreye Prahlada Varado Devo Yo Nrsimha Paro Harihi Nrsimha Pasakan Nityantan Nrsimha Gurum Bhaji Shri Satchidananda Shivabhinavya Nrsimha Bharatyabhidhanyatīndran Vidyanidhin Mantranidhin Sadatmanishtan Bhaje Manava Shambhurupan Sadatmadhyana-niratam Vishayebhyah parankham Naumi Shastreshu Nishnatam Chandrasekhara Bharatim Vivekinam Mahaprajñam Dhairyaudarya Kshamanidhim Sadabhinava Purvantam Vidyatirtha Gurum Bhaje Bharati Karuna Patram Bharati Padabhushanam Bharati Padamarudham Bharati Tirthamashraye Bharati Tirthavaryantam Bhakta Hrittapanashanam Bhavabhiti Haram Devam Bhavaye Satatam Hridi Vidya Vinaya Sampannam Vitaragau Vivekinam Vande Vedanta Tattvajñam Vidhushekhara Bharatim Ananta Guna Sampannam Anantabhidhaya Shrutam Ananta Jnana Datrintam Mataram Pranumo Vayam Gairvanya Sanvibodhena Jivanam Maulya Sanyutam Yakarottan Namam Pyambam Sharadam Murtarupini Kalabhyan Chudalankhrita Shashikalabhyan Nijatapaphalabhyan Bhakteshu Prakatita Phalabhyam Bhavatu Me Shivabhyam Astokat Tribhuvana Shivabhyam Hridi Punarbhavabhyam Ananda Sphuradhanubhavabhyam Natiriyam. Okay, in the last class we learned 73 and 74. 73 where Shankaracharya urges the mind to think of or seek the Padara Vindam of Parameshwara, which was sought out by Vishnu himself in the form of Varaha. Then the 74th verse, Asha Pasha Klesha, we saw that there is a lot of philosophical references in this verse to what are the 5 kleshas, etc. And this also reminded me of the verse in 16th chapter, Daivasura Sampad Vibhaga Yoga, where Krishna also says, Asha Pasha Shatair Baddhaha Kama Krodha Parayanaha. So you can go through that verse also. This Asha Pasha, this particular expression is used there. And then we now move on to the 75th verse, a very beautiful description in this also, like in all the other verses, and see how each verse is so unique. There are multiple unique ways in which Ishvara is visualized, and the mind is visualized, the bhakta is visualized, bhakti is visualized. So let us start with this. Charu. Kalyaninam Sarasachitragatim Savegam.
कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगम् कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगम्
सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघम्
सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघम्
ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यम्
ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यम्
चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य
चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य
चरस्मरारे नेतः समस्तजगताम् वृषभाधिरूढ उत्तमम् कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगं सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघं. Note the correct pronunciation. सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघं. Gham, gha mahaprana. Dhruvalakshanaadhyam. When we combine this, we chant it as Sarvengitagnyamanagham Dhruvalakshanaadhyam. Chetasturanga. Note the dvitwams here. Chitra, Kalya. There also is doubling. Lakshanadhyam. D is doubling. Chetasturanga. S is doubling. Chetasturanga madhiruhya. Dha is mahaprana. Chara. Smarare, when we chant together, we notice the dvitvam here. Chara smarare, s is doubling. Netas samasta jagatam, vrishabhadhirudha, bha, bhi, dha, mahapranas. Netas samasta jagatam, vrishabhadhirudha. When we combine the anuswara with va, we get netas samasta jagatam, vrishabhadhirudha. Okay, now we will do one whole pada at a time. कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगम्
कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगम् कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगम्
सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघं ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यम्
सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघं ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यम् सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघं ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यम्
चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे
चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे
नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधिरूढ
नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधिरूढ नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधिरूढ.
Uttamam. So that dha, very well chanted, Charu. We are not supposed to prolong because it is Sambodhana Prathama there and Hrasva, Vrishabhadi Rudha. It is a Hrasva ending, so we don't prolong the A there. Kalyaninam Sarasa Chitragatim Savegam Sarvengitagnyamanagham
कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगं सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघन्ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यं कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगं सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघन्ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यम्
चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधिरूढ
चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधिरूढ चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधि.
Why did you go to mute, Charu? Suddenly we couldn't hear the full word. Vrishabhadhi, we heard only. That's okay. We will chant the entire verse now. Kalyaninam sarasachitragatim savegam सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघन्ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यम् चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधिरूढ
कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगं सर्वेङ्गितज्ञमनघन्ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यं चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधिरूढ.
स्मरारे समस्तजगतां नेतः कल्याणिनं सरसचित्रगतिं सवेगं सर्वेङ्गितज्ञम् अनघं ध्रुवलक्षणाढ्यं चेतस्तुरङ्गम् अधिरुह्य वृषभाधिरूढ चर. Okay, so in this verse, a very unique prayer to Parameshwara, and see the way he addresses Parameshwara. First he says, Smarare, oh, the one, the enemy of Manmatha. So we know how Ishvara destroys Manmatha, which means he has control, complete control over Manmatha. He's the enemy of Manmatha. And we'll see why this, the way he addresses is very significant. Like in each verse, he uses very appropriate synonyms to address Parameshwara through his various names. Smarare, Samasta Jagatam Netaha, the one who is the master, the Lord, Parameshwara, or the one ruling, the ruler, ultimate ruler of all the worlds. Samasta Jagatam Netaha, O master, O king, O ruler of all the worlds. And then he also says Vrishabhadhi Rudha, or the one who is sitting or mounted or seated on a bull, Vrishabha, right? And then having addressed Parameshwara like this, what is the prayer he makes? Chetasturangam adhiruhya chara, O smarare, samasta jagatam netaha, Vrishabhadhirudha, Chetaha turangam, which means the mind is the horse. So very aptly described the mind as the horse, because A horse, when it is under your control, is very powerful, and we will see the explanation in this verse also. And it's very useful to the master. However, if the horse runs astray without any control, then we know how disastrous it can be, right? So the mind is also like the horse. So chetas turangam adhirukya, chetaha, the mind, my mind itself is a horse. Turangam adhirukya, having seated or having mounted the mind, my mind, which is a horse, O smarare, hey Parameshwara, Shara, you move around, you go wherever you want after having, after being seated or after mounting yourself on the Chetas Turangam, that is the mind itself, which is my mind, which is a horse, which means once Bhagavan is controlling the horse, then all the indriyas and everything will be under Bhagavan's control. So, which is very apt. Smarare, the one who has conquered Manmatha. So, you are such a person. I mean, you are such a Parameshwara, not person. You are Parameshwara. So, you are the only one who can control this mind. So, oh Parameshwara, this mind of mine, which is a horse, that has to be controlled by you. So please be seated on this horse and you can go wherever you want. I have not forgotten that you are Vrishabhadi Rudha. That is probably the reason why he uses Vrishabhadi Rudha. We know that you are mounted on a bull. Vrishabha is your Vahana. But please be seated on this mind, this horse, which is my mind, and you can go wherever you want. So a very beautiful description here. And Ashwa is considered as one of the Kalyana animals, one of the very great animals like Ashwa, then elephant, etc. Now, even if you see in temples, we have the Gajavahana, Ashwavahana, right? Even in Brahmotsavas and all, you can see the Ashwavahana is there for God. Now, the first two lines, they are a description of the horse and the mind. So you can take it to mean, like we are seeing in many of the verses of Shivananda Lahari, each of the descriptions can be taken both to the horse and to the mind. Now, Kalyaninam, how is this horse or the mind? Kalyaninam, Kalyanakhya Lakshana Yuktam. There are auspicious signs in this horse, which means it is an auspicious, a very great horse. Similarly, the mind also must be filled with Kalyana Gunas, auspicious qualities. Only such a mind is conducive for Parameshwara to rule over. That Chitta Shuddhi should be there. Unless that Kalyanam, that Shuddhi is there, it is difficult to visualize Bhagavan, right? If the mind is polluted with all kind of internal enemies and dirt, then it is very difficult. I remember our Swamiji in school used to say, the worst pollution which is facing this earth and nobody seems to speak about it is thought pollution. And because of that, we see that results in various kinds of pollution in society outside. So that has to be addressed. And he also used to say, when you have a bag, unless you remove all the unwanted stuff, you cannot keep the things you need in it, right? Similarly, unless all the unwanted qualities are removed from the mind, we cannot visualize Bhagavan. Kalyaninam, Kalyanakhya Lakshana Yuktam, the one which is filled with auspicious qualities, the horse and the mind. Sarasa Chitra Gatim. So, Sarasa Chitra Gatim, having a very graceful gait. Gati means gait. Sarasa, having a very graceful and speedy gait. We know how a horse has to be fast, right? And also, when it comes to the mind, now this word rasa, sarasa means with rasa. This word rasa itself, one can go on for many hours. Now, Bhagavan is described as Rasaswarupi in the Upanishads. And in Gita Govindam, in the 22nd Ashtapadi, Harim Eka Rasam, says poet Jayadeva. He describes Krishna as Harim Eka Rasam. So Bhagavan is Rasaswarupi. Then in the greatest, we must say, treatises on Natya Shastram, the performing arts, which is Bharata Muni's Natya Shastram. There he speaks of rasas as the soul of any kavyam, as the soul of any performance. So he describes various rasas like Shringara, Hasya, Karuna, etc. And that is considered to be the soul of any performing art or a kavyam. And Bhagavan, like I said, he is described as Rasaswarupi in Lalita Sahasramam, Rasagnya Rasashevatihi. So this rasa word has a lot of significance. Sarasa, with rasa. Now, rasa also can refer to that Spandana Shakti, meaning now we are enjoying this work of Shivananda Lahari. So when we listen to certain verses or when we chant or when we see a dance performance or read a very great kavyam, you get that rasanubhuti in your heart. You experience that emotion. That it's rasa is not equal to emotion, but like I said, many words are non-translatables, but we should try to understand. So, for example, when you read Ramayanam, many places it is overflowing with karuna rasa. You start shedding tears. Similarly, beautiful description of nature, etc. Shringara Rasayana, Abhigyana Shakuntalam, Geeta Govindam, many places. So, like this, we have Veera Rasa, and while describing the heroic deeds, the way Rama, Mahavira Vaibhavam, there is a beautiful work where the heroic deeds of Rama are described. So, Veera Rasa. Then Adbhuta, the best example I can think of right now is the Vishwarupa Darshana, how Arjuna was wonderstruck, awestruck seeing that. That is Adbhuta. Right? So like that, there are various rasas, Bhayanaka, etc. Now, the Sahridayi, that is the Rasikas, they experience that in their hearts when they listen to a kavyam or when they see a performance on stage. And that is the objective of any kavyam or any composition, any of the performing arts, music, dance, natakam, etc. So when it comes to the mind, it means sarasa chitragatim, that which has that rasikatva, that which has that spandana, that which can experience the rasa. And ultimately, like I said, Upanishad say Bhagavan himself is rasaswarupi. So with reference to the mind, that is how we must understand this sarasa chitra gatim. And savegam, which is very fast, possessing great speed. This is a beautiful verse. See how each of the adjectives are applicable both to the mind and to the horse. So in Yaksha Prashna, Yaksha, this is an episode from Mahabharatam, which you will all know. Yaksha asks Yudhishthira certain questions and to test him. And one of the questions, and you all should read that Yaksha Prashna, those who haven't, or even these, we should read it multiple times, all these things. Very, very intelligent, wise questions and better, very wise and intelligent answers by Yudhishthira. So Yaksha asks him, what is it in the world which can travel the fastest, faster than wind? And Yudhishthira aptly says it's the mind. Savegam. It possesses great speed. You can go anywhere just in a fraction of a second, right? And Pramati Balavad Dridham. That's what Arjuna and Krishna converse in Gita. Chanchalam hi manah Krishna pramati balavadridham tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. Manas is so chanchalam, Krishna. It is always wavering. And it is very difficult to control like a wild elephant, right? When a mad elephant is charging at someone or going somewhere, helter-skelter, it's very difficult to control such an elephant. The mind is like that, says Arjuna. Tasyaham nigraham manye vayoriva sudushkaram. I find it that I think it is very difficult to control the mind, like it is very difficult to control the speeding wind. Then Krishna very aptly says, asamshayam mahabaho. No doubt the mind is very wavering. Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagyena cha grihyate. With abhyasa and vairagya, with the dispassionate practice, abhyasa, every day, consistently rather, it is definitely possible to control the mind. So in this verse, describing the mind as savegam, it is going in all it's going in all directions without control, which is why he is saying, Hey Parameshwara, you have to be the master of my mind. My mind is the horse. So you are the master and you should control it. Only then it will know where to go in the right direction. Like a horse in a battle. In those days, it was all infantry, cavalry, etc. So the elephants and horses were used in battle, and horse was a very important animal in battles. We all know that kings had their favorite horses too, be it Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj or Rana Pratap Singh. That is with Chetak. We all should read about the legends, the stories which speak about his love for Chetak and how Chetak saved him. We will just come to that in a bit in this verse. So, a well-controlled horse by the master is an asset. That is what used to make warriors win or lose battles. If you see, even in Mahabharatam, the main prominent role is played by Krishna as the charioteer controlling those horses. So they say that whatever happened, and you should read the war description in the Mahabharatam, when any arrow was about to hit Arjuna, then he would suddenly take the chariot down so it would miss. And the way he navigated through that army of Kauravas, which was much bigger than that of Pandavas, only that ultimately made Arjuna to win the war. So Krishna was very impartial. He gave both Pandavas and Kauravas a choice. Either my entire Narayani Sena, which is so powerful, my army will be on one side, and I will be on the other side. So both of you choose. And Arjuna was, our Duryodhana was very scared where Yudhishthira will choose the Narayani Sena, because he wanted it. Duryodhana's only objective was to have more and more army. So their army strength was 11 Akshauhinis. You can read up of what is one Akshauhini. And the Pandavas was only 7 Akshauhinis, less than the Kauravas. However, the Pandavas chose Krishna. They said, we don't want your Sena, Krishna. It might be very powerful, but we only want you on our side. And Krishna also said, I will not raise a weapon. I will not fight. I will only be on your side. And he acted as a charioteer to Arjuna. And that was what made the Pandavas win the such a terrific battle. And even when Arjuna had made a promise that he would kill Jayadratha the next day, because he had, in the most unpardoning way, a sinful way, against the rules of war, Jayadratha had killed Abhimanyu, Arjuna's son, by everyone surrounding the little boy when he was weaponless in the Chakravyuha. Then, knowing this, Arjuna had made a promise. And even then, next day, the Kauravas had formed such a formation that nobody should be able to reach Jayadratha by evening. And if Arjuna doesn't reach him, doesn't kill him, Arjuna has already said that he will give up life. So by on his own vow, he will give up his life. But to make Arjuna to follow his promise and kill Jayadratha by that evening, we know all sorts of things how Krishna helps him, including the very skillful way in which the chariot was driven. But even then, by the time they come there, it is still, there was still very less time left. So then Krishna causes this eclipse with his chakra, and we know they think the war is over for the day. And then when they are about to disperse, they reach Jayadratha. When they come to know, ultimately it's an eclipse, it's not evening. So I'm telling you these things because to highlight the importance of the one riding the horses, the one guiding the horses in the right direction. So, which is why in this verse, Shankaracharya is saying, Shiva, you ride this horse of my mind. It is so very important. So, Kalyaninam Sarasa Chitragatim Savegam Sarvengi Tagnyam, a very apt word. I wonder how each of these words have been used, which have so much which we can speak about. So, Sarvengi Tagnyam, which means this refers to a very unique characteristic of the horse. And I heard, and while reading up on this verse, I learned that there is rather a very important Shastram called Ashva Shastram in our ancient Bharatiya Jnana Parampara. We have so much which we have not really kept up, and we are ignorant of many of these things. So the Ashva Shastram, they have many of these, an entire body of knowledge on Ashvas. on horses because they are so important in for a king, for the kingdom. Sarving, and it is a Kalyana animal, a very great auspicious animal. Sarvengi Tagnyam refers to knowing or understanding intuitively the mind of the master. This is when it comes to the horse, and intuitively taking the right decision. So Sarvengi Tagnyam, one example we can give is, there is a nice sentence, Antargatam Bhavam Janatiti Sarvengi Tagnyam. Antargatam Bhavam, the internal Bhavana, Janati, the horse knows, iti Sarvengi Tagnyam. So why is this important? There are references where the horse is in battles. It seems when the master is in danger, when the king is in danger, and or when the king is wounded, the horse would voluntarily, on its own, run away very fast, or rather take the master or the king to a safe spot, escaping from the enemies, or navigate in such a way that the master is seen that the master is not in danger, and take the master to a safe place. So the horses, the royal horses, had this quality also. And this, when you read about Chetak, we come across an instance where Rana Pratap Singh was injured, wounded in a battle, and Chetak fled extremely fast, like ran, if so fast, and took the master, the king, away from danger. And though the enemies were chasing and the horse was wounded also, in order to save its master, there is a description when one of the historical or literary works where it is said that the horse Chetak actually took a giant leap across a wide river and reached the other bank. And then the king was saved. And after Rana Pratap was saved, the horse gave up its own life. So when the king was injured and not in a position to control or direct, the horse itself intuitively knows what to do and does the right thing to save its king. So this is the Lakshanam, one of the important Lakshanams of a royal horse. And therefore, Sarvengi Tagnyam. And when it comes to the mind, this also, it can be taken to mean that the mind which knows the ultimate, the inner self, or the mind which knows Parameshwara, the mind which understands Parameshwara. And Sarvengi Tagnyam, also when, with the spiritual practices, and when a mind is completely devoted to Parameshwara, ruled by Parameshwara, even without the need to explain, such people will understand, are very perceptive. Such a mind will understand the inner feelings and the thoughts of everyone else also. Like I said, they will understand people, the universe, everything in a very perceptive way. And we have seen this with the great Maharshis and Mahapurushas. Sarvengi Tagnyam, with the grace of Parameshwara, such a mind will know everything, even the innermost feelings and notions and thoughts. So Sarvengi Tagnyam, a very beautiful word to understand both the mind and a horse. Anagham, blemishless, without any sins. Dhruva Lakshanadhyam, which is endowed with all stable, great qualities. Lakshana, these are all Lakshanas only, which we have been discussing. Dhruva, which is stable. See, these Lakshanas are not fleeting. So for some, or in some animals, or even in some of us, we may not be the same always. It may be like, unpredictable behavior sort of. So once may be very good, another time no, which is wavering, which is not very stable. But that is not the kind of mind or horse described here. Dhruva Lakshanadhyam, which is very steady and stable in all the great qualities. So both the horse, when you take it as the horse, and when you take it as a mind which is constantly stable in all, having all these great qualities. Dhruva Lakshanadhyam. Chetasturangam adhiruhya, such a mind horse, adhiruhya, having mounted yourself on it, smarare, hey, Parameshwara, who is the enemy of Manmatha. Vrishabhadhirudha, I know you are Vrishabhadhirudha, but having mounted my mind horse, Samasta Jagatam Netaha, you are the master of all the words. Chara, you move around. This is the meaning. A very, very beautiful verse, I must say. So much to learn from it. And let us quickly read the English meaning. O destroyer of Kamadeva, O supreme Bhagavan, who rides the sacred bull, you are the leader of all worlds. Mount the horse of my mind, which is graceful, swift, and endowed with auspiciousness. It moves with great speed, understands your divine intent, and remains pure and steadfast in its purpose. O Master of the universe, may you take charge of my mind, guiding it with divine wisdom, so that it may wander only in your remembrance, free from all impurities and ever devoted to your auspicious path. Kalyaninam Sarasachitragatim Savegam Sarvengitagnyamanaghndruvalakshanaಢ್ಯಂ चेतस्तुरङ्गमधिरुह्य चरस्मरारे नेतः समस्तजगतां वृषभाधिरूढ. Next verse, Shriya. Thank you all for those. I was just looking at some of the responses. Turangam, yes, refers to a horse. Spandana also means vibration. It also means that. Usha Bhagini, thank you so much for that sharing this. Rudram also says, Namo Ashvebhyo Ashvapatibhyo. Thank you for that. Arundat Mahodaya, riding horse, does it also refer to bhakti? As for Parameshwara, to ride the mind, Parameshwara has to reside in mind always. Yes, it can be taken in that way also, which is possible when one is in Sayujyam with Parameshwara. Rajgopal Mahodaya says, Chetak is immortalized in Rajasthan. Thank you for all those responses. A very wonderful verse indeed. We will go to 76 now. Shriya. Bhaktirmahesh pada pushkaramaavasanti.
Bhaktirmahesh pada pushkaramaavasanti. Bhaktirmahesh pada pushkaramaavasanti.
Biniva kurute paritosha varsham.
Kadambiniv kurute paritosha varsham. Kadambiniv kurute paritosha varsham.
Sampurito bhavati.
Sampurito bhavati. Sampurito bhavati.
Yasya manastataakaha.
Yasya manastataakaha. Yasya manastataakaha.
Tajjanma sasyamakhilam saphalam chananyat.
Tajjanma sasyamakhilam saphalam chananyat. Tajjanma sasyamakhilam saphalam chananyat.
Uttamam Shriya. Bhaktir Mahesha Pada Pushkaramaavasanti. Bha is Mahaprana. Bhaktir Mahesha Pada Pushkaramaavasanti. We don't have a pause there. Kadambiniva Kurute Paritosha Varsham. Sampurito Bhavati. Mahaprana Bha. Yasya Manastatakaha. Note the Dvitvams. Yasya Manastatakaha. S is doubling. Tajjanma sasya, again S is doubling. Tajjanma sasyam akhilam saphalancha. Pha is Mahaprana. Please note, I'm repeating again. We do not say pha in Sanskrit. It is only pa. We do not have a pronunciation in the nature of pa in Sanskrit. Saphalam. We should not say safalam. In Hindi, it is fal. In Sanskritam, it is phalam. There is no fa only. Saphalam. The anuswara plus cha. Saphalancha. Nanyat. Okay, now we will do we'll do two padas at a time. Tirmahesha pushkarama Kadambiniva kurute paritosha varsham.
भक्तिर्महेशपदपुष्करमावसन्ति कादम्बिनीव कुरुते परितोषवर्षम् भक्तिर्महेशपदपुष्करमावसन्ति कादम्बिनीव कुरुते परितोषवर्षम्
सम्पूरितो भवति यस्य मनस्तटाकः तज्जन्म सस्यमखिलं सफलं च नान्यत्.
सम्पूरितो भवति यस्य मनस्तटाकः तज्जन्म सस्यमखिलं सफलं च नान्यत्. सम्पूरितो भवति यस्य मनस्तटाकः तज्जन्म सस्यमखिलं सफलं च नान्यत्.
तिर्महेशपदपुष्करमावसन्ति कादम्बिनीव कुरुते परितोषवर्षम् सम्पूरितो भवति यस्य मनस्तटाकः तज्जन्म सस्यमखिलं सफलं च नान्यत्.
भक्तिर्महेशपदपुष्करमावसन्ति कादम्बिनीव कुरुते परितोषवर्षम् सम्पूरितो भवति यस्य मनस्तटाकः तज्जन्म सस्यमखिलं सफलं च नान्यत्.
उत्तमं श्रिया. भक्तिः महेशपदपुष्करमावसन्ति कादम्बिनीव परितोषवर्षं कुरुते यस्य मनस्तटाकः सम्पूरितः भवति तज्जन्म सस्यमखिलं सफलं च अन्यत् न. Okay, so in this verse, Bhagavan Parameshwara's divine feet are visualized as the vast, expansive sky, which is limitless, infinite, right? And Bhakti is visualized as residing in that sky of the feet of Parameshwara. Bhaktihi Mahesha Pada Pushkaram Avasanti. Bhaktihi, devotion. Mahesha Pada Pushkaram. Mahesha Ishvara. Pada Pushkaram. It is in the feet of Parameshwara, which are the sky. The sky itself, it represents the feet of Parameshwara. So here the feet are visualized as the vast, expansive, limitless sky. Avasanti, constantly residing. So what is constantly residing there in the sky, which is the feet of Parameshwara? Bhakti. Bhaktihi Mahesha Pada Pushkaram Avasanti Kadambiniva Paritoshavarsham Kurute. Kadambiniva. Kadambini refers to groups of clouds. So, residing constantly in the sky, which is the feet of Parameshwara, what happens? Kadambiniva Paritoshavarsham Kurute. The groups of clouds, they shower. And what is this shower? Paritosha Varsha, showers of bliss. Again, we see how Shivananda Lahari, very apt title. Again and again, we come back to that. So, the groups of clouds in the sky called Parameshwara's feet, they they have a heavy downpour of what? Showers of bliss, which is nothing but Shivanandam. The clouds which give us rain in the sky of the feet of Parameshwara, the groups of clouds, they shower the bhakta with lots of bliss. They shower down a lot of bliss. Paritosha Varsham, Ananda, like Anandamrita Varshini, like that. So that is, we have Dikshitar's Kriti also, no? Anandamrita, like that. Ananda Amrita Varshini, that's what happens. The nectar of bliss, Ananda, Shivanandam, is showered by these groups of clouds from the sky, which is nothing but the feet of Parameshwara, and Bhakti is constantly residing there. With that, what happens? Manastatakaha sampuritah bhavati. Yasya manastatakaha. So my mind is the pond, the devotee or the reservoir where water is stored. So manastatakaha, that is the pond or a reservoir where the water is stored. That is my mind. So this mind reservoir, sampuritah bhavati. It gets completely filled with what? With the water, with the rainwater. What is that rain? Anandamrita Varsha, Paritosha Varsha. With that rainwater of bliss showered by groups of clouds from the sky of Parameshwara's feet, this reservoir, mind reservoir of mine gets completely filled. Sampuritaha. Sampurita, again, a very beautiful word. It doesn't only mean filled in the sense of physically filled to the brim, but Sampurna, that a person who has attained Shivanandam is Sampurna, is a complete person, experiences that completeness, no one else. That is exactly what he says in the next line, Shankaracharya. Tat janma sasyam akhilam saphalam. For such a person who is bharita, who is Sampurna, whose mind is Sampurna, complete with the water, the rainwater of bliss of Shivanandam, only such a person's janma, birth, akhilam saphalam, that janma sasya, sasya means the crop of his birth, is saphalam, it is fruitful, which means this birth, the crop of this birth means only such a person's birth is fruitful. Saphalam, like in one more verse, he says kritarthaha, right? So, such a person's birth is meaningful, it is fruitful, na anyat, nothing else or no one else's. No one else or nothing else makes this birth fruitful apart from the experience of Shivananda. That is conveyed in a very beautiful way using the metaphors of the sky being the expansive sky, being the feet of Parameshwara, where bhakti resides constantly. And when the groups of clouds shower Anandamrita Varsha, that fills up the manastataka or the mind reservoir, by which the mind reservoir becomes sampurnam. It becomes complete. And only such a person's janma sasyam akhilam, the crop or the janma of such a person, the crop of this birth of such a person is saphalam. It becomes fruitful. It yields the result which is supposed to yield. It becomes fruitful. Na anyat, nothing else. Telling us that the purpose of this birth is to attain that Shivanandam. Nothing else matters. And if we don't attain that, then whatever else we might have, material success, political success, or positions, power, education, nothing matters. Only attaining that Shivanandam is the fruit which one must get from this birth. Only then one's janma will be sarthaka, te eva kritarthaha, and only then it is a saphalam janma. So let us read the meaning. Devotion residing in the vast sky of Mahadeva's lotus feet is like a cluster of rain-bearing clouds. These clouds shower the rain of divine bliss, filling the reservoir of the devotee's mind. For the one whose mind is thus nourished, life itself becomes meaningful and fruitful, just as a well-irrigated field yields an abundant harvest. Such a person's entire existence attains fulfillment, for There is no greater purpose than surrendering to Shiva's grace. My guru used to say, ito na kinchit, parato na kinchit, yato yami, tato na kinchit. Vicharya pashyami, jagan na kinchit, swatma avabodhadharikam na kinchit. This is a very famous verse by a very ancient verse. Ito na kinchit, there is nothing there, there is nothing here. Yato ayami, wherever I go and search, there is nothing. Vicharya pashyami, I analyze, I deliberate, I examine everywhere. Jaganna kinchit, there is nothing in this world. Swatmavabodhadharikam na kinchit. There is nothing more than swatmavabodha. That is the understanding of one's own self, that self-knowledge or self-realization. Apart from that, there is nothing. So like Shankaracharya says in this verse, Tajjanma sasyam akhilam saphalam na anyat. Nothing else. We'll read the verse once, we'll chant it once. Bhaktirmahesh pada pushkaramavasanti kadambiniva kurute paritosha varsham sampurito bhavati yasya manastataakaha tajjanma sasyam akhilam saphalam chananyat. Let us do the 77th verse now. Who do we have as the panelists? Oh, Aditi has joined. Okay, Aditi, you can do this. Buddhisthira.
Buddhisthira. Buddhisthira.
Bhavitumishvara pada padmasakta.
Bhavitumishvara pada padmasak.
Aditi, we lost your connection, I think. Are you here with us, Aditi? Okay, can't. Okay, Shreya, I think Charu, you have to go to school, right? Shreya can do this. Okay, we'll see if Aditi is back, she'll take over. Otherwise, Shreya, you can help. Buddhisthira bhavitumishvara pada padmasakta.
बुद्धिस्थिरा भवितुमीश्वरपादपद्मसक्ता बुद्धिस्थिरा भवितुमीश्वरपादपद्मसक्ता
Vadhurvirahiணிव
वधूर्विरहिणीव वधूर्विहरिणीव
sada vadhurvirahiணிव. Okay, so we should be careful. It is not viharini, virahini. Vadhurvirahiணிव sada smaranti.
वधूर्विरहिणीव सदा स्मरन्ति वधूर्विरहिणीव सदा स्मरन्ति
Sadbhavana smarana darshana.
सद्भावना स्मरणदर्शन सद्भावना स्मरणदर्शन
Kirtanadi sammohitev.
कीर्तिनादि सम्मोहिते कीर्तनादि सम्मोहितेव कीर्तनादि सम्मोहितेव
शिवमन्त्रजपेन
शिवमन्त्रजपेन शिवमन्त्रजपेन
विन्ते
विन्ते विन्ते.
So here it is buddhisthira. Okay, children, please, sorry, everyone. Here it is buddhisthira. It is not buddhiristhara. The I mean, the reason I'm pointing out is if you see this here, it looks like R, but it is not. The font is such that it is shown like this, but please see this very clearly. I'm telling the ones who are seeing in Devanagari, it is Buddhisthira. There is no R there. The font is slightly confusing here. I tried rectifying, but that's how it is shown. Buddhisthira Bhavitumishvara Pada Padmasakta. It has to be chanted together. Vadhur Virahiniva, not Viharini. Vadhuhu Virahini. We'll see the meaning. Vadhur Virahiniva Sada Smaranti. Sadbhavana Smarana. Note the dvitvam. S is doubling. Sadbhavana Smarana Darshana Kirtanadi Sammohiteva. Again, we don't pause there. Shiva Mantra Japena Vinte. Okay, I think if Aditi has joined, you're able to do. Aditi, you can
Yes.
take over. Thank you, Shriya, for helping. Buddhisthira bhavitumishvara pada padma sakta vadhur virahini vasada smaranti.
बुद्धिस्थिरा भवितुमीश्वरपादपद्मसक्ता वधूर्विरहिणीव सदा स्मरन्ति बुद्धिस्थिरा भवितुमीश्वरपादपद्मसक्ता वधूर्विरहिणीव सदा स्मरन्ति
Tadbhavana smarana darshana kirtanadi sammohiteva shiva mantra japena vinte.
सद्भावना स्मरण दर्शन कीर्तनादि सम्मोहितेव शिव मंत्र जपेन विन्ते सद्भावना स्मरण दर्शन कीर्तनादि सम्मोहितेव शिव मंत्र जपेन विन्ते
Tamam. Buddhisthira bhavitumishvara pada padma sakta vadhur virahini vasada smaranti. Sadbhavana smarana darshana kirtanadi sammohiteva shiva mantra japena vinte.
बुद्धिस्थिरा भवितुमीश्वरपादपद्मसक्ता विधूर्विरहिणी
Vadhur, not Vidhu. Vadhu.
बुद्धिस्थिरा भवितुमीश्वरपादपद्मसक्ता वधूर्विरहिणीव सदा स्मरन्ति सद्भावना स्मरण दर्शन कीर्तनादि सम्मोहितेव शिव मंत्र जपेन विन्ते.
Uttamam. So we'll do once again the entire verse. Buddhisthira bhavitumishvara pada padma sakta vadhur virahini vasada smaranti. Sadbhavana smarana darshana kirtanadi sammohiteva shiva mantra japena vinte.
बुद्धिस्थिरा भवितुमीश्वरपादपद्मसक्ता वधूर्विरहिणीव सदा स्मरन्ति सद्भावना स्मरण दर्शन कीर्तनादि सम्मोहितेव शिव मंत्र जपेन विन्ते.
Uttamam. Okay, I wanted to complete the meaning of this verse, but now we will need some time and we will be exceeding by a lot. So I think we will take up the meaning in the next class. Itona Kinchit, I will share the meaning. I will share the verse in the group, in the WhatsApp group. And regarding the articles, etc. Some of you have done a very great job, especially on Chandaha. One of you have written, you have to give me some time to review because we have a lot of other projects also going on parallelly. So we will do it. The target is anyway, once we complete the course and the assessment, when we have the Samarpanam, at that stage we will be publishing. So, but do send me. One request is, I mean, if you just send me like verse 1, this verse 2, this, not really referring to a list. It's good if you list the verses, but what I'm actually referring to is something where you can express your thoughts and write in your own words. And depending on what can be published, we'll be doing it. And if you are referring to any other sources, you will have to give the source, because we won't be able to share anything if it is written somewhere else. If it is completely your own, I mean, nothing is completely our own in that sense. We are all borrowing from Shankaracharya and other works. But if you're referring to any particular website or a book from which you're taking directly, then you must give us the reference or footnote or the source. That is important in anything we share, in any writing, in any publication, etc. Now I will, any doubts, etc., I will reply to the email. But also please note, our focus of this course is not Vyakaranam. It is the meaning of the verses. So accordingly, we will be prioritizing and dealing with the questions and the way we go about the course in class. Yes, Arundat Mahodaya, groups of clouds meaning bhakti has to be continuous. Rajgopal Mahodaya says 76 shloka explanation should be taught to class 6 students. Concept of geography, science, morals, beautifully explained. I think all these verses, this Bharatiya Jnana Parampara, if it is taught to children, it would be a huge contribution and a service we are doing to society. So let us conclude with Shanti Mantraha. We will deal with the meaning in the next class. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Dhanyavadaha sarvebhyah. Dhanyavadaha to all the panelists, Shriya, Charu and Aditi, for assisting effectively as always. Agami Shanivasare Punar Milamaha. Ram Ram Ram. Dhanyavadaha.